You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you feel is a weight on your chest. Like something isn't right all over your body. That constant worry that your blood pressure is high again and you don't know what to do in this regard because you've tried so many things and nothing really seems to work. You get up and the first thing you do is measure the prison. Praying that the numbers are different this time, but then they are new. Those high numbers that remind you that something needs to change. You go to the doctor and tell you the same thing every time. More pills, more restrictions, more concerns. And you find yourself thinking if there really is something natural that can help you without so many secondary effects and without having to spend a fortune on medicines every month. I understand perfectly what you're going through because I've worked for years with people exactly in your situation. People who come to my office tired, frustrated, scared because of what they can go through with their health. And what breaks my heart the most is seeing how many of them don't know that there are natural and effective alternatives that can completely change their life. Today I'm going to share with you something that will surprise you. Something so simple and powerful that when you discover it, you'll find yourself wondering why nothing had told you before. I'm going to reveal to you 3 secret drinks that have the power to help regulate your blood pressure naturally. Drinks that are backed by science but that very few doctors have the time to recommend because they are too busy prescribing medications. These are not empty promises or magical solutions, they are real, affordable drinks that you can prepare in your own home and that have demonstrated in serious scientific studies their ability to support cardiovascular health and help maintain blood pressure at healthy levels. Before continuing, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel because here you will find valuable and practical information about natural health solutions that really work and are within your reach, without complications or excessive expenses. Each week I share with you health secrets that can transform your life. Tips backed by science but explained in a simple way so that anyone can understand and apply them immediately. I'm not here to sell you anything or to complicate your life with medical terms that are impossible to understand. I'm here because I care about you being there and I want to know that there are only natural alternatives that can help you. As soon as you click on this subscribe button, activate the button so that no new video is missed. And join our community of people who have decided to take control of their health naturally. I promise you that every minute you spend watching these videos will be a good minute for your health and your quality of life. Now, let's get straight to the point because you're eager to discover what these 3 secret drinks are that can change your life. The first drink you'll ever drink is something you probably never imagined could have such a powerful impact on your blood pressure. And it's the yolk of removing beta. Maybe you're thinking that it's too simple to be true, but let me explain why this intense red drink is considered by many researchers as one of the best natural allies for cardiovascular health. The Ramalika contains a very high concentration of natural nitrates. And these nitrates are absolutely fascinating because when they enter your body they become something called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is like a magical messenger that tells your blood vessels to relax and dilate. Imagine that your veins and arteries are like hoses, and when they are tense and tight, the water has to pass under a lot of pressure. But when they relax and expand, the water flows with much more ease and less pressure. This is exactly what nitric oxide has in your body. It allows blood to flow more easily and naturally helps reduce blood pressure. The scientific studies on the yolk of remolacha are really impressive, and I'm not talking about small or rather serious investigations. I'm talking about studies published in important medical journals where scientific people participate. An investigation carried out at Queen Mary, University of London found that people who drank approximately 1 bottle of milk jug every day experienced a notable reduction in their blood pressure only a few hours after consuming it. Another fascinating study published in the magazine Hypertension demonstrated that drinking juice of remolacha for 4 weeks helped people maintain their blood pressure at healthier levels consistently. It is incredible that these effects are not small. We are experiencing reductions in several points in systolic and diastolic pressure, which can make a significant difference in your long-term cardiovascular health. But let me give you practical information because it's not just about knowing how it works. It's about knowing how to use it correctly. The recommended dosage is to drink approximately 250 milliliters of pure remolacha juice every day. And this is at least a normal bottle. You can drink it early in the morning to get the best results, or you can also divide it into 2 doses, mid-morning and mid-afternoon. Now, here comes a very important tip. When you are preparing or buying your Ramala jug, make sure it is as natural as possible. If you buy it and prepare it, look for one that doesn't have extra sugar or extra preservatives. because these additional ingredients can ruin the natural benefits of the blender. My personal recommendation is that you prepare it yourself at home. It's very easy. You just need fresh shakes, wash them well, cut them into pieces, and pour them with a little water. Then you can stick the yolk if you prefer a softer texture. Some people add a little manzana or zanahoria to improve the flavor. And this is perfectly good because these fruits and vegetables also have health benefits. An important precaution that you must take is that the yolk of remolacha can cause your origin or your hesses to take on a red color. And this is completely normal. Don't be alarmed if you see it, because it is simply the natural pigment of the remolacha protruding from your body. Also, if you are taking medication for high blood pressure, you should consult your doctor before starting to drink juice regularly, because it could enhance the effect of your medication and require your doctor to adjust the dosage. If you have kidney problems or tend to form kidney stones, it is also important that you consult your doctor first, because the solution contains oxalates, which in some people can be problematic. But for most people, the yolk of remolacha is completely safe and tremendously beneficial. Now I want to ask a very important question, and I would love for you to answer it in the comments, because your experience can help many other people who are going through the same thing as you. Remember, what is your biggest challenge when trying to control your blood pressure naturally? Is the lack of information? Is not knowing which foods or drinks really work? Is the difficulty of being constant with changes in habits? Or is the fear that nothing natural will work as well as medicines? Write something like this in the comments. My biggest challenge with blood pressure is not knowing which natural remedies really work. I'm really interested in knowing your situation, because we can all support each other and share experiences that help us improve our health. Furthermore, when you comment, you are helping this video reach more people who need this vital information, so take a second to write your comment right now. Let's continue with the second secret drink that will revolutionize the way you take care of your blood pressure. And this is the hibiscus drink, also known as Jamaica flower. This drink, with an intense ruby red color in the soil, is delicious and refreshing, full of medicinal properties that have been valued for centuries in different cultures around the world. Hibiscus is an extraordinary flower that contains compounds called anthocyanins, which are very powerful antioxidants responsible for that vibrant red color. And these antioxidants do wonders in your cardiovascular system. Furthermore, hibiscus tea contains flavonoids and organic acids that work together to help relax blood vessels, improve the function of the endothelium, which is the internal lining of your arteries, and promote better circulation throughout your body. The science behind hibiscus tea is absolutely solid, and there are decades of research that support its effectiveness in helping to maintain healthy blood pressure. A very important study published in the Journal of Nutrition followed a group of adults with slightly elevated blood pressure for 6 weeks, and the results were surprising. People who drink 3 cups of hibiscus every day will experience significant reductions in their arterial pressure, especially in their systolic pressure, which is the number that rises when they are under pressure. Researchers were impressed by the results that concluded that hibiscus tea could be an effective dietary intervention for people with prehypertension or mild hypertension. Another fascinating study carried out in Iran compared the effect of hibiscus tea with a common medicine for blood pressure, and found that hibiscus tea was almost as effective as the medicine, which is absolutely incredible if you think about it. What makes C. hibiscus so special is that it works through multiple mechanisms at the same time. On the one hand, it acts as a mild natural diuretic, which means it helps your body eliminate excess liquid and sodium through the urine. And this is important because excess liquid in your circulatory system increases pressure against the walls of your arteries. On the other hand, hibiscus has properties that inhibit an enzyme called ECA, which is the same enzyme that blocks many medications for arterial pressure, and inhibiting this enzyme prevents the formation of a substance that narrows blood vessels. Furthermore, hibiscus improves the production of nitric oxide, than we talked about before, and is a magical messenger that makes your blood vessels relax. It's like having multiple soldiers working for you at the same time, attacking the problem from different angles. Now we need to know how to prepare and consume hibiscus tea correctly to obtain all its benefits. The most effective way is to use dried hibiscus flowers, which you can easily find in natural product stores, in markets, or even online. To prepare it, you will need approximately 1 tablespoon of dried hibiscus flowers for each glass of water. Higher the water, and when it is very hot, it pours over the hibiscus flowers. Let it sit for a few minutes so that the flowers release all their beneficial compounds, after which the water is ready to drink. You can drink it hot or cold according to your preference, And if the flavor seems too acidic to you, you can sweeten it with a little honey or stevia, but avoid using refined sugar because it has high nutritional value. The recommended dosage according to studies is to drink 2 to 3 teaspoons of hibiscus every day to see significant results in your blood pressure. I recommend that you take a cup in the morning, another half afternoon, and if you want a third cup you can take it in the evening. But not too late because you remember that it has a mild diuretic effect and you don't want to be getting up in the bath every night? A strategy that works very well is to prepare a large jar of cold hibiscus tea in the morning and keep it in the refrigerator to drink throughout the day, so you will always have your medicinal drink fresh and ready. You can add lemon or orange wheels to give it an extra touch of flavor and vitamin C. Some important precautions that you should know about hibiscus tea. First, if you are embarrassed or trying to get embarrassed, you should not consume hibiscus tea because there is evidence that it could affect hormonal levels. Second, if you are taking medication for blood pressure, you should inform your doctor that you are going to start taking hibiscus tea because, as mentioned, it has real effects on the pressure and could enhance the effect of your medications, which would require an adjustment in the dosage. Third, hibiscus tea can interact with some anti-inflammatory medications and paracetamol, so if you are taking these medications regularly, consult your doctor. Fourth, some people may experience light tides when they sit on hibiscus tea, especially if they have low blood pressure, so they have to wait with a cup every day and observe how their body reacts before increasing the dosage. Now we reach the third secret drink that will complete your natural arsenal against high blood pressure. And this is the yolk of support. The celery is one of these vegetables that many people underestimate, thinking that it is just a raw vegetable without much flavor that serves to decorate dishes or to chop with some parsley. But the truth is that the celery is a medicinal treasure hidden in plain sight. The aid contains very special compounds called phthalides, and these compounds have the ability to relax the smooth muscles that surround your blood vessels, allowing them to dilate and the blood to flow with greater ease and less resistance. Furthermore, the plant is rich in potassium, an absolutely essential mineral for controlling blood pressure because it helps to counteract the negative effects of sodium on your body. Scientific research into blood pressure began in a very interesting way. A student of traditional Chinese medicine noticed that his priest had managed to reduce his blood pressure significantly after eating food daily for a week, so he decided to scientifically investigate what was going on. Later studies revealed that these medicinal powder compounds have similar effects to some calcium, channel blocking medications, which are commonly prescribed medications for hypertension. A study published in the journal Natural Medicine Journal found that the extract of lemongrass helps to reduce blood pressure in people with mild to moderate hypertension. Another investigation carried out at the University of Chicago demonstrated that the AIDS components can reduce arterial pressure up to a fraction of the time in experimental models. What is so special about the yolk of support is that on the ground it attacks blood pressure from a bell angle that offers multiple benefits for your general cardiovascular health. The remedy has natural anti-inflammatory properties that help reduce inflammation in the walls of your arteries. And this chronic inflammation is one of the factors that contribute to the hardening of arteries and the development of heart disease. Furthermore, it contains antioxidants such as vitamin C, beta-carotene, and flavonoids that protect your cells from oxidative damage caused by free radicals. The support also has a calming effect on the nervous system, which is important because chronic stress is one of the main contributors to high blood pressure. It's as if the support had a checklist and marked one by one all the factors that contribute to hypertension. To prepare the celery jug optimally, you need fresh stalks of celery, preferably organic if you can get them, because conventional celery is on the list of vegetables with the highest amount of pesticide residues. Wash the garlic stalks thoroughly under running water. Cut them into smaller pieces and rinse them with a jug extractor or blender. If you use a blender, you will need to add a little water so that it liquefies well, and then add the yolk to remove the fiber if you prefer a more liquid texture. Although I personally recommend leaving something with fiber because it has additional benefits for your digestion. The chive yolk has a very strong and earthy flavor that everyone doesn't like at first, so you can combine it with other yolks like green manzana, cucumber, lemon, or ginger to make it more pleasant to the palate without sacrificing its benefits. The recommended amount of aid yolk to see effects on blood pressure is approximately between 250 and 500 milliliters per day, which is equivalent to 1 vessel. I suggest that you pour it with a medium pot every day during the first week so that your body gets used to it, and then you can gradually increase it to a full pot, or if you tolerate it well, The best time to take the helping hand is in the morning, in springs, approximately 20 or 30 minutes before you go to sleep, because this way your body can absorb all the nutrients better without interference from other foods. Some people report that the yolk of support gives them a lot of energy when they take it in the morning, so they take advantage of this natural impulse to start their day with the right hand. One very important thing that I want you to remember about the vegetable is that some varieties naturally contain more sodium than other vegetables, although it is still a relatively small amount compared to processed foods. However, if you are on a very strict diet low in sodium, as per medical recommendation, you should have an account and consult with your doctor. It also has a natural diuretic effect, which means it can increase your oil production, ensuring you stay well hydrated by drinking enough water throughout the day. People who are taking diuretic medications for high blood pressure should consult their doctor before starting to consume supplements regularly, as there could be an interaction. If you have a kidney condition, it is also important that you talk to your doctor first because the dose is high in potassium, and although this is normally beneficial, people with kidney problems need to control their potassium intake. Now, before I continue, if you're enjoying this video and you're finding value in this information, please give me a like, because it helps me enormously to know that I'm on a good path, so that this content reaches more people who need it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the perfect time to do it. Remember to activate the notification button so that you don't miss a new video where I share more natural health secrets like this. Your support means a lot to me and motivates me to continue investigating and sharing valuable information that can change lives. Now that you know these 3 powerful drinks, let's give you some additional tips that will multiply their effects and help you obtain even better results. The first and most important thing is to understand that these drinks are not magic pills that will solve your blood pressure from night to morning if you continue with unhealthy habits. These drinks work best when combined with a healthy lifestyle that includes a balanced diet, regular physical activity, including walking for 30 minutes a day, stress management, and adequate rest. Think of these drinks as powerful tools in your health toolbox, but you need to use all the tools available to build really solid cardiovascular health. A crucial point is consistency, because the effects of these drinks accumulate over time. Don't expect miracles after taking them alone for a day or a week. You need to be consistent for at least 4 to 6 weeks to start seeing significant changes in your blood pressure. The good news is that many people feel better in general, much before seeing changes in their pressure numbers, reporting having more energy, sleeping better, feeling less swollen, and having better digestion. These are all positive signs that your body is responding well to these natural changes. You can rotate these 3 drinks during the week instead of having them all at the same time. For example, you can drink a juice drink on the moon, midday, and winter, even with hibiscus on the weekends, and on weekends. If you prefer, you can choose the drink that you like best or that is most convenient for you to prepare and focus on that. There is no strict rule. The important thing is that you find a routine that works for you and that you can maintain over the long term. The best diet or the best natural remedy is the one that you actually follow consistently, not the one that sweats the most on paper but that you abandon after a couple of weeks. It is also important that you keep a record of your blood pressure, taking it every day at the same time, preferably in the morning before going out and after having been sitting and relaxing for at least 5 minutes. Write down the numbers in a notebook or on an app on your phone, and also write down what drinks you had that day, how you slept, what you ate, and how you felt emotionally. With time, you will start seeing employers who will help you understand better what specific things affect your blood pressure. This record will also be very valuable if you are working with a doctor because it will give you concrete information about how your body is responding. Something I want to emphasize is that if your blood pressure is very high or if you are taking prescribed medications, you should never stop your medications because you are alone because you have started taking these natural drinks. These drinks can be a wonderful complement to your medical treatment, but any change in your medication must be supervised by your doctor. The ideal is that you can talk to your doctor about your interests in incorporating these natural remedies and working together by monitoring your blood pressure regularly. Many doctors open to integrative medicine will be happy to support you in this combined approach. And if your blood pressure improves consistently over time, your doctor may consider adjusting your medications gradually. I would like to share with you some real stories of people who have implemented these drinks into their daily routine and seen incredible changes in their health. I received a message from a lady called Maria who told me that after taking a yoke of alcohol for months, Her pressure was low, from 150 to 95 to 125 to 80. And her doctor was so surprised that I reduced the dosage of her medications to a minimum. Maria told me that on the ground her numbers improved, but she felt with a lot more energy. She had lost a few kilos without purpose, and her skin was more radiant. Another testimony that I received was from a gentleman named Carlos, who combined the hibiscus tea with daily walks and within 3 months managed to lower his pressure from worrying levels to completely normal levels. And best of all, I was able to stop taking the 3 medications he was taking, obviously under medical supervision. These stories are not isolated cases. There are thousands of people around the world who are discovering the power of natural medicine and are taking back control of their cardiovascular health. And I want you to know that you can also be one of those success stories, no matter how long you've had to deal with high blood pressure. No matter how many things you've proven won't work, there's always hope and there's always something more you can do to improve your situation. The human body has an incredible capacity to heal itself when given the correct tools, and these 3 drinks are powerful tools that nature has given us. More than these 3 specific drinks, I want you to understand some general principles about blood pressure that will help you keep it under control over the long term. High blood pressure does not appear out of nowhere. It is the result of multiple factors that have been accumulating over time. Things such as excessive salt consumption, overweight, sedentary lifestyle, chronic stress, alcohol and tobacco consumption, lack of healthy sweat, and a diet low in fruits, vegetables, and fiber. When you undertake positive changes in all these areas of your life, the effects multiply and your blood pressure responds favorably. It's not about being perfect at all. It's about making consistent and sustainable improvements that you can maintain forever. One of the most powerful changes you can make is reducing your sodium consumption. And I'm not just referring to stopping adding salt to your foods. I'm referring to eliminating or drastically reducing processed foods that are loaded with hidden salt. Sausages, canned soups, salad snacks, frozen foods, commercial accessories. All of these products contain alarming amounts of sodium that directly contribute to raising your blood pressure. At the same time, you need to increase your potassium consumption by eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, such as plantains, avocado, spinach, potatoes, and of course, the main thing we talk about. Potassium and sodium work together in your body as if they are on a balancer. When you have a lot of sodium and little potassium, the balancer tilts towards the high pressure. But when you balance these minerals correctly, the balancer balances and your pressure normalizes. Physical exercise is another fundamental pillar for controlling blood pressure, and you don't need to kill yourself in the gym to obtain benefits. Walking at a moderate pace for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, can reduce your blood pressure in several ways, and also helps you maintain a healthy weight, improves your mood, strengthens your heart, and reduces stress. If 3 minutes seems too much at first, it starts at 10 minutes and gradually increases. The important thing is to move. Get your body off the couch, and activate your cardiovascular system. Other excellent activities include swimming, cycling, dancing, yoga, or tai chi, which also help you manage stress in a very effective way. Speaking of stress, this is one of the most underestimated factors when it comes to high blood pressure. Chronic stress keeps your body in a constant state of alert, releasing hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline that make your heart pump faster and your blood vessels constrict, inevitably raising your blood pressure. You need to find healthy ways to manage stress in your daily life, through meditation, deep breathing, spending time in nature, cultivating hobbies that you enjoy, spending quality time with people you love, or any activity that makes you feel relaxed and at peace. Dedicate at least 5 to 20 minutes each day to doing something that calms your mind and relaxes your body, because those minutes of peace translate directly into healthier blood pressure. The quality problem is another absolutely critical factor that many people ignore. When it doesn't last long enough or when your sweat is of poor quality, you don't have the opportunity to repair yourself and recover properly, and this directly affects your blood pressure. The studies show that people who spend less than 6 hours a night have a significantly greater risk of developing hypertension. You need to sleep between 7 and 7 hours every night, and on the ground it's about the quantity but also the quality. Create a consistent sleep routine. Keep up and get up at the same time every day. Even on weekends, avoid screens at least an hour before bed. Keep your room dark, cool and silent, and avoid caffeine and heavy food in the hours before bed. I also want to talk about some other foods and nutrients that can perfectly complement these 3 drinks that we mentioned and enhance even more of your results. The action is one of the most powerful superfoods for cardiovascular health. It contains a compound called allicin that has effects similar to some medicines for blood pressure. Adding 1 or 2 fresh AOs to your daily diet can make a notable difference. You can chop it finely and add it to your salads, soups, stews, or any dish you are preparing. Cooked meat also has benefits, even though raw meat is more potent. Foods rich in omega-3 such as salmon, sardines, nueces, and seeds of tea and linaza have powerful anti-inflammatory properties and help keep your arteries flexible and healthy. Try to eat fatty fish at least 3 times a week. And if you don't like fish, you can get omega-3 from vegetable sources or consider a good quality fish oil supplement. Dark chocolate with at least 70% of cocoa is another unexpected ally. It contains flavonoids that help dilate blood vessels, but it has to be real dark chocolate. In chocolate with milk filled with sugar, there would be more harm than good. Sunflower seeds, almonds, and other dried fruits are rich in magnesium, a mineral that many people do not consume in sufficient quantities and which is essential for regulating blood pressure. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels and improves cardiovascular function in general. Green hoja vegetables such as spinach, collard greens, and chard are also excellent sources of magnesium as well as other beneficial nutrients. Including a handful of nuts as a daily snack or adding semillas to your meals and smoothies is an easy way to increase your magnesium intake. The berries, the fresses, the raspberries, and other bays are loaded with antioxidants called anthocyanins that protect your blood vessels from damage and improve their function. A study found that people who ate a cup of grapefruit every day for 8 weeks experienced significant improvements in their blood pressure. They are delicious, versatile, and easy to incorporate into your diet. You can add them to your seasonal meal, mix them into a smoothie, eat them as a snack, or add them to a salad. If fresh bays are very expensive or not available in your area, frozen bays are just as nutritious and much more economical. Plantains or bananas are famous for their potassium content and are a delicious and convenient way to obtain this essential mineral. An average plantain contains approximately 400 milligrams of potassium, which significantly contributes to your daily needs. Other foods rich in potassium include potatoes, spinach, fries, aguacate, and tomatoes. Making conscious effort to include several of these foods in your daily diet will make a real difference in your blood pressure. Now, there is something very important that you need to talk about, and it is about the foods and habits that you must avoid or drastically reduce if you want to control your blood pressure. I mentioned excess salt, but let me be more specific. The World Health Organization recommends not consuming more than 2,000 milligrams of sodium per day, which is approximately a cup of salt, but the average person consumes much more than that, sometimes double or triple. Most of that sodium doesn't come from the salt that aids a food on the table, comes from processed foods and restaurants. Read the labels on everything you buy, and if a food contains more than 200 milligrams of sodium per serving, check it twice before buying it. Alcohol is another factor that you need to seriously consider. Although some studies suggest that small amounts of alcohol may have some cardiovascular benefits, excessive alcohol consumption raises blood pressure significantly and can also interfere with the effectiveness of hypertension medications. If you drink alcohol, limit it to no more than 1 drink every day for women and men. And honestly, if you can avoid it completely while working on controlling your blood pressure, it would be ideal. Remember that a standard drink is 350 milliliters of beer, 150 milliliters of wine, or 45 milliliters of distilled liquor. Sugar and refined carbohydrates are silent enemies of your blood pressure. Excessive sugar consumption contributes to weight gain, insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and directly to elevated blood pressure. Sugary refreshments, commercial jugs, sweets, pastries, white pan, refined pasta, all these foods cause rapid spikes in your blood sugar followed by sudden drops that stress your cardiovascular system. Replace these foods with whole grain options, whole fresh fruits, vegetables, and high-quality proteins. Your body will thank you on the ground with better blood pressure and more stable energy throughout the day. Tobacco is absolutely devastating for your blood pressure and your cardiovascular health in general. Each cigarette you smoke causes an immediate increase in your blood pressure that lasts several minutes after you finish smoking, and if you smoke regularly throughout the day, your blood pressure is constantly high. Furthermore, smoking damages the walls of your arteries, accelerates the hardening of your arteries, reduces the oxygen in your blood, and dramatically increases your risk of heart attack and stroke. If you smoke, Quitting smoking is probably the most important thing you can do for your cardiovascular health, even more important than any drink or food you can consume. Seek professional help if you need it. There are many resources available to help you stop smoking successfully. Caffeine is a controversial topic because it affects people differently. Some people experience significant increases in their blood pressure after consuming caffeine, while others are not affected. If you drink coffee, even caffeine or energy drinks regularly, it's worth doing an experiment, monitoring your blood pressure before and after consuming caffeine, to see how it affects you personally. If you notice that your pressure is rising considerably, consider switching to decaffeinated coffee or reducing your consumption. The decaffeinated green tea is an excellent alternative because it maintains a lot of beneficial antioxidants without the caffeine that could raise your blood pressure. I want you to understand something fundamental. Your blood pressure is not just a number on a screen. It is a vital indicator of how well your cardiovascular system is working and how well you are taking care of your body in general. Every decision you make during the day, from the time you start the day to how you manage a stressful situation at work, from the time you decide to walk while sitting until the end of the night, all these decisions come together and affect your blood pressure. The good news is that this means that you have a lot of power and control over your health. You are not at the mercy of destiny or genetics. You have the capacity to make real changes that produce real results. Let's have a moment about genetics because many people think that if their fathers or abusers have high blood pressure, then they are condemned to have it too, but we are not completely sure. Yes, there is a genetic component in hypertension. Some people have a genetic predisposition that makes them more susceptible to developing high blood pressure. But their genes are not their destiny. Your genes simply carry the weapon, but your lifestyle is what opens the trigger. Many people with a genetic predisposition never develop hypertension because they lead a healthy lifestyle, while people without a family history can develop high blood pressure due to bad habits. Your daily choices have a much greater impact than your genes. It is also important that we know about blood pressure in a white coat, which is when your pressure rises only when you are in the doctor's office due to the nerves or anxiety of the situation. If you think this is happening to you, talk to your doctor about the possibility of monitoring your pressure at home for several days to get more accurate readings of how your pressure is normally. Blood pressure monitors for home use are very economical today and can provide very valuable information. Just make sure you buy one that is clinically validated and use it correctly by following the manufacturer's instructions. When you are under arrest at home, always follow the same protocol to obtain consistent and accurate readings. Sit comfortably with your back supported and your feet flat on the floor, without crossing your legs. Rest your arm on a table at heart height, making sure the brace is placed correctly on your bare skin, not on your clothes. You don't have time during the measurement and try to be relaxed. Take the pressure after you have been sitting quietly for at least 5 minutes, and avoid drinking coffee, exercising, or smoking for at least 3 minutes before measuring. Take the 3 readings with 1 minute of difference between each one and write down the average. It is normal for your blood pressure to vary throughout the day. Typically, it is lower during the night, during the evening, and higher in the first hours of the morning. It can also rise temporarily when you exercise, when you are stressed, when you feel pain, or after eating. These normal variations are completely different from having chronic hypertension. Don't be alarmed if you see an occasional loud reading. What matters is the general pattern over time. If you are constantly seeing numbers of 130/80 or higher in multiple readings taken at different times, then you need to take action. Blood pressure targets have changed a little in recent years following new investigations. Traditionally, it was considered that 140/90 was the threshold for diagnosing hypertension. But now the most recent guidelines suggest that any consistent reading above 130/80 is considered hypertension and requires intervention. The optimum blood pressure is below 120/80, and the range between 120/80 and 129/80 is considered high but still hypertensive. However, these are general guidelines, and your personal goal could be different depending on your age, existing health conditions, and other factors, so you should always discuss your specific goals with your doctor. For people over 65 years old, some experts suggest that a slightly higher pressure may be acceptable because too low a pressure may increase the risk of falls and other problems. On the other hand, younger people or people with diabetes, kidney disease, or other cardiovascular risk factors may need to keep their pressure lower. Medicine is not a one-size-fits-all science. It needs to be personalized to each individual. I want you to know that controlling blood pressure is a marathon, not a speed race. You're not going to put it all together in a week or a month. You're going to need commitment, patience, and persistence. There are days when everyone is perfect, and there are days when you deviate from the plan, and that's fine. You're human. The important thing is that you continue to follow the right path, that you don't use a bad day as an excuse to completely abandon your efforts. Every little positive change you make, every pot of juice you drink, every walk you take, every healthy food you prepare, every night that lasts well, everything is accumulating and moving your health in the right direction. Celebrate your victories no matter how small. If your pressure is low and there are only a few points, that is a deception. If you manage to walk 10 minutes longer this week than last week, that's a mistake. If you rejected that boring food and chose something healthier, that's a mistake. Each of these small victories deserves to be recognized because they are the bricklayers with those who built a healthier life. Don't focus solely on the final objective, enjoy the process and appreciate the progress you are making day by day. Have a support system to help you during this trip. Share your goals with your family and friends so that they can support and encourage you. Consider joining an online support group or community of people who are working to improve their cardiovascular health. Having people who understand what you're going through, who can share their own experiences and strategies, who can cheer you up when you feel discouraged, and that can make a huge difference in your long-term success. You don't have to do this alone. If after several months of making all these lifestyle changes, your blood pressure is still high, don't get discouraged and definitely don't abandon the healthy changes you have made. Some people need medications in addition to lifestyle changes to control their pressure properly. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Medicines for high blood pressure have saved millions of lives, and if your doctor determines that you need them, you take them as prescribed. The combination of medicines with a healthy lifestyle is extremely effective and will give you the best possible results. There are different classes of medicines for blood pressure, and they work in different ways. Some help your body to eliminate excess fluid, others relax your blood vessels, others make your heart stronger with less strength, and others block certain hormones that raise blood pressure. Sometimes you need to try different medications or combinations of medications to find what works best for you with the fewest side effects. Be patient with this process and maintain open communication with your doctor about how you are feeling. Never stop your medications without consulting your doctor, even if your condition has improved significantly through lifestyle changes. The abrupt suspension of some medications for blood pressure can cause a dangerous rebound where your pressure shoots higher than before. If you feel that your medications are causing intolerable side effects, talk to your doctor about alternatives. There are many options available, and you can always find something that works well for you. Before finishing this video, I want to remind you of the 3 powerful drinks we speak today that can transform your cardiovascular health. First is the juice of remolacha, this intense red-colored drink loaded with natural nitrates that converts into nitric oxide in your body, relaxing your blood vessels and allowing blood to flow more easily. Second is hibiscus tea, this beautiful ruby-colored drink that contains powerful anthocyanins and flavonoids that work through multiple mechanisms to help regulate your blood pressure. And third is the yolk of support, this underrated vegetable that contains special phthalides that relax the muscles of your blood vessels and is rich in potassium, the mineral that counteracts the effects of sodium. These 3 drinks are not fantasies or empty promises, they are real solutions backed by serious scientific research. Solutions that are within the reach of your hand and your pocket. Solutions that you can undertake to implement today in your life. You don't need medical prescriptions, you don't need to spend fortunes, you just need commitment and consistency. Combine these drinks with the other lifestyle changes we discussed. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains and lean proteins. Regular exercise without walking, effective stress management, weight loss, sodium reduction, tobacco elimination, and alcohol moderation. Your cardiovascular health is too important to leave it to chance or to postpone the actions you know you need to take. Every day that passes without making changes is one more day that your heart and your arteries are low, are unnecessary stress. Don't wait for something bad to happen to start taking care of yourself. Don't wait until you have a health scare to take action. Empty now, today, with a bowl of juice in the morning, with a 20-minute walk in the afternoon, with choosing a salad instead of fried food, with you going to sleep for an hour earlier this evening. Every positive action you take today is an investment in your future health and your quality of life. And before you leave, I have one last favor to ask of you. If this video helped you, if you learned something valuable, if you believe that this information could benefit someone else, please share it. Share it with your family members who are struggling with high blood pressure. Share it on your social networks. Send it via WhatsApp to that friend you know needs it. Together, we can create a community of informed people who are taking control of their health in a natural and effective way. Every person who watches this video and applies this information is a better person who is improving their life and reducing their risk of serious heart disease. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't heard it yet. Press this red subscribe button and activate notifications so that no one misses out on the next videos where you will continue sharing natural health secrets, effective home remedies, information based on science but explained in a simple and practical way. I have a lot more content planned on blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, heart health, healthy weight loss and many other topics that may interest you. This is just the beginning of your health transformation. Let me know in the comments which of these 3 drinks you will try first. If you start with the juice of remolacha, the juice of hibiscus or the juice of apio. Also, if you have tried any of these drinks before and what results you have obtained, your experiences can inspire and help others who are reading the comments. I love reading every single one of your comments and I answer as many as I can, so I don't have to write, ask questions. Share your doubts or your victories. Remember that your health is your most important responsibility and also your most basic right. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to have energy. You deserve to live without the constant fear that your blood pressure is going to cause serious problems. You deserve a long, healthy, and happy life, and everything is within your reach when you make the right decisions, day after day. It's not easy. I don't say it would be easy, but it's definitely worth every effort you make. Thank you for following me in this video. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you for being here committed to your health. See you in the next video with more valuable information that will continue to transform your life. Then, be very careful, be careful with those powerful drinks. Make those lifestyle changes that you know you need to make, and prepare to see how your blood pressure improves week after week. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal itself when you use the right tools. Trust the process, be patient with yourself, and never give up on your way to better health. I send you a huge hug and wish you all the success of the world while you travel to have healthy blood pressure and a life full of happiness.